There are nights when the past refuses to stay buried, when the ashes of old sins still glow faintly in the dark, waiting to be disturbed, waiting to breathe again. In the Twin Cities, those embers are stirring. What once burned bright has cooled to memory, but memory has a way of catching fire. Old alliances, forgotten debts, and ghosts of the dam all smolder beneath the surface, and those who seek to uncover them may find that some flames never truly die. Hello and welcome to Vampire the Masquerade Twin Cities by Night Embers, the fourth story in the ongoing chronicle of Twin Cities by Night, a tale of what remains when the fire fades and what's left behind to burn.
I'm so glad you could join me, William. I hear you've been having some problems recently.
Yes, pleasure to meet you,
I'm Linda.
Linda. Well, I'm William, as you know. Shall we begin?
Absolutely. Why don't you start from the beginning? And what's bothering you?
That's a rather long story.
I have time.
Yeah. Well, I'm worried that I don't, recently. I don't know where to begin, honestly.
Well, I'd love to learn more about you. We can really start wherever you want, but I find that starting with childhood kind of helps unpack things.
The relationship with my father figures in life was always strained in some way, I suppose. I've always, I don't know if I would say I was disobedient, but I always seemed to foster a resentment to them eventually. A mutual one.
As in, you weren't good enough? Things that you did displeased them?
A little bit of both, though. I think in part it was because deep down they knew I was better than them.
I'm glad that you could see your own worth even being surrounded by people who wouldn't recognize it. It's a hard place to be.
Oh, I agree completely, and well, lately it's been complicated. My efforts, I believe, and talents are wasted on, or were wasted on pursuits that I did not wish to do. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. I was quite successful in my profession, even though I was not always, let's say, doing things by the book.
Okay.
So, Linda, are you here from the Twin Cities?
In a sense. But if you're asking where I'm from originally, I guess New York would be where I grew up, and then I spent some time in Canada.
What brought you to Canada?
I was forced into a pack of my own.
Forced? That seems unpleasant.
It had its upsides. Definitely had a lot of its downsides as well.
It has its upsides. Interesting. Well, I suppose I can understand the appeal to a certain extent. I've been with a group, though many of its members have since disappeared or gone their own ways. How close were you to this pack?
It was varying degrees, but I was close with all of them.
I see. Quite fortunate. Well, as an adult, I had a complicated couple of years once certain things I've done in my profession have gone to light, not publicly, but to certain individuals, and I was asked to help a certain man with some unpleasant tasks. I was forced to investigate a company, and deal with the fallout of incompetency. And after that, well, life was kind of a blur until it wasn't. And then one day I woke up as a vampire.
All right. So who embraced you?
A man by the name of Kenneth White. He was, I suppose, the second father figure I'm talking about. After my embrace, we did not talk much, and frankly, I simply went about my nights as I wished for the next 20 years. Quite pleasant. This time was quite pleasant and mercifully uninterrupted by Kindred society, whatever it wishes to be. Band of disgusting, worthless leeches. Even worse, useless leeches. Incompetent leeches. They are, well, what do you know about them? Never mind.
Well, please continue your thought.
Sorry, I seem to have been thinking about something else. Yes, we've had to, me and these three other vampires at first, Katao, Ophelia, and Jonathan Chase. We had to look into these murders. I could hardly consider myself a detective, and in my personal opinion, the job should have been left to the sheriff.
But your elders decided that you and these other companions were the ones to find out what was going on.
Apparently so. Apparently we needed to pull our weight, whatever that means.
Yeah, I understand that.
I see. Could you elaborate?
Perhaps you've heard of the Sabbat, or the Sword of Cain.
I've heard them mentioned.
Well, they exist. They're around. And that is the group who forced me to Canada.
Oh, but you enjoyed your stay, didn't you?
As much as anyone could in the situation, I suppose. But, like you being told that you are to investigate, I was told to come down to the Twin Cities, and life changed from there. Or, unlife, I suppose.
I see. Are you here to kill the elders of the city once again?
Me personally, no.
So there are others that are?
I'm not sure what others are up to. My goal here is to help you, William. See, before I became vampire, I was a therapist, and I loved my job. I guess in ways that's the reason why I'm even here to begin with. So now I'm back to doing what I love, and I'd love to hear more about this investigation.
Well, it was strange. People were being tortured to death, in a way, I suppose. There was a lot of blood in the scenes, and, well, the closer we got, the more insane it started to seem at the time. Though now I wouldn't even blink at the thought, honestly. It involved members of high society, both kindred and kine, who were involved. And we found out that, well, that a cult of sorts was at the center of it, with the family of the prince of the city being the leaders.
And you found this revelation to be significant.
Wyatt, we found some unpleasant truths about the prince and how he used to ghoul his family, and, well, the way he indulges himself. Most despicable, even for kindred such as us. Though, I suppose I think I understand him a bit more now.
It's good to understand the actions of those that we are against.
Maybe, but I find the actions of kine quite tiresome as of late. Their beating hearts and the humming of life.
Are you tired of humanity?
In a way, I suppose. But I don't think I can be tired of something I don't have.
That's true. We may not have our humanity anymore, but there are different paths you can take. Ones that you might find more purpose in.
Please, do elaborate.
Unfortunately, I don't know a great deal about the different paths you can take. I know they exist. Many members of the Sword of Cain, well, they never really spoke about it with me directly. But it's a different mindset for those who are able to switch from the mentality of being humans. We've been playing that for so long, it's hard to move to something different at times. In fact, one of my pact members had difficulties with it.
I see. I don't think I quite fully get the concept, but perhaps the basics, yes.
Hopefully in time you will.
Well, that remains to be seen. I'm sure these paths have as many disadvantages as others.
Well, that's something for you to discover. But I find that it's difficult for long-lasting vampires to keep that mentality of being human. We do run by different rules, do we not?
I suppose. So the more things change, the more they seem the same. What do you know about Malkavians, Linda?
Oh, I am one.
Yes, but that doesn't mean you know much about them, does it?
I suppose that's true. I do hear that Malkavians are unusual within the Sapot. I know vampires found me to be very eclectic, burdened, difficult to deal with. Now, I know not all Malkavians are like that. Some have more clarity.
Oh no, in fact, I think that's perfect. I think all Malkavians are hard to deal with, in a way. No offense, though you
None
can see
taken.
that.
Are you concerned that you can't trust me?
Oh, no. Not at all. Well, honestly, there's only one person, other than myself, that I really trust. All the rest are either dead or gone.
Would that be this Kaitao?
Yes, the gangrel. He seemed naive at first, but we have been through certain challenges together, and it has made me trust. We have formed a bond. I would not call us friends, in a way. We're not that, but we're more and less as well. Survivors, yes, that's what I would call us. When it comes to Malkavians, there was this whole series of events. Not sure if you know about them. I've heard that Malkavians sometimes are almost, dare I say, psychic in nature when it comes to other Malkavians, though not sure how much of that is true. But after what I've lived through, I would put some stock in the legends. After all, I too have some knowledge of your favorite discipline.
Yeah, it is an interesting one with possibly unintended side effects.
Although, in my case, the side effects were the discipline, with the main effect being something else entirely. Do you ever hear an ocean, Linda?
Yes.
Where?
It's everywhere and nowhere.
But stronger somewhere, isn't it?
It is.
Yes. I've also met a man who understood something of the ocean, although I'm not sure if he's a man at all or something else entirely. His name's Ellsworth.
Is this another father figure of yours?
More like a brother. Anyhow, the Malkavians, it's all jumbled in my head. That started with this series of events. Well, it all started with a member of my herd being killed, which I found quite distracting. At the time, I was even sad, though I've moved on, in maybe even a more metaphorical sense. Death of mortals no longer concerns me. What about you, Linda? Do you care for mortals? For Kain?
I believe all sorts of life has value and worth. I couldn't do what I do without it.
Value and worth in what way?
Well, in a one-on-one setting like this, I suppose mortals have the value and worth of keeping us alive. To be honest, it's been a while since I've even thought about it.
Oh, but that's a shame, I think.
The last couple years of my life have been a bit of a blur itself.
I can understand that, I suppose. Moving on, one of my allies, ghouls, was attacked relatively soon after, or soon after rather. There was always this hint of, I know, when it came to these attacks. And so, once again, we've been forced to work together to see what's happening. And if I may be quite honest with you, at first I thought it was the Sabbat.
No offense, they seem like a very natural target for this sort of thing. Or mastermind, I suppose.
Yes. I've never made the acquaintance of a Sabbat before. Would you say being a Sabbat was fulfilling?
In some ways, there's more rules than there is with the organization you're with.
Oh, I'm not with any organization.
Well, then the one you started with. Allegiances can change. But I don't think that you would be happy with a Sabbat.
I can't say I know much of anything about them, except that they are frequently quite aggressive and hands-on in their dealings, which made me suspect them in the first place, I suppose. But there must be some sort of purpose to them. I can't imagine a large group of lunatics surviving, and I mean this in the non-pejorative sense here, referring to the Sabbat as a whole, not to just the Malkavians. But I can't imagine them surviving for long if this wasn't the case. So what was the driving force of the Sabbat, in your opinion?
The Sabbat itself is righteous in their thinking. They want to take out this force greater than themselves, these antediluvians, old vampires. There's this belief that they still control us, and we want can't even say we. Then the Spot wants to be free of that.
And do you believe in that?
In being free, or in these older
in being
vampires?
Controlled.
I think as we deal with each other, there's always manipulation and control going on, regardless of if you're a young vampire or old. Everybody has agendas.
And do you believe this is limited in some way to vampires only?
Oh, certainly not. Even mortals want to control.
At a certain point, I was thinking about such things, though I do not any longer. And in my opinion, Kindred do not seem to be more manipulative than the Kain at their core. It's simply that we have much more to lose if we don't control our surroundings.
I mean, for instance, our food sources are a lot more limited than that of mortals. We have to be careful.
Mine especially. Which is why the murder of one of my herd hit me so hard at the time. It was not only an attack on my person, it was also an existential threat, which was what made me so worried. And then, as I mentioned before, a ghoul of certain acquaintance of mine was attacked. Jonathan Chase. Strange sort of person. He had big plans, which I suppose is what killed him. Though I don't know if he's dead, but I don't believe he's alive. Not truly. Then, another acquaintance's contact was killed, quite publicly. And, well, long story short, we found it was your clan playing tricks on us. Well, tricks. It was a complicated issue with certain members going over the line of the person in charge, but the intent was clear. It was, I suppose, during that one of the last fatal encounters, or the last fatal encounter there, that I have come to evaluate the value of kind life as something beneath contempt. Now, don't get me wrong, as a member of Clan Ventru, my sources of feeding are very limited, and that means that I have to foster a certain relationship with people in order to feed from them. However, barring a certain few individuals, I believe humanity to be thoroughly uninteresting. I don't wish them harm actively, but I don't mind when they get hurt. Doesn't bother me in any way. The same way that I don't care when someone drives over a cat or a dog or a deer. I suppose the deer is more apt.
Okay.
Have you ever frenzied and murdered someone, Linda?
I have not.
Shame. I always wondered what that was like. Though I suppose Katao might know.
Again, I think exploring different paths, other than considering the consideration of mortality, would be a wise path for you to walk down. But I am a little bit curious. You mentioned these individuals being targeted by Malkavians, and with the I know. What did they know?
Oh, I think you know, Linda. Why don't you tell me what you know first?
I understand the reaction for that and wanting that, but this isn't about everything that I know. It's about you having a safe place to talk these things out. So I might know, but I still want you to vocalize these things to me.
I don't think this is going to work out, Linda.
What's your concern here, William?
The concern is that I'm, quite honestly, bored.
Bored of on life?
No, though a change could be nice. And yes, I realize the irony in that, but I have a feeling something will happen soon. Sort of sense of the primordial ocean. And, well, though my life is unlife, I suppose, has afforded me certain changes in recent times. The revokement of my membership in the Camarilla and such. I must honestly say that I've been thinking about moving. However, such a thing would be complicated for me. I'm surprised that Katao didn't move on as well. It being much easier for him to uproot himself.
So, you're thinking of leaving the Twin Cities?
I've thought about it. I've rejected the notion.
And why did you reject it?
Well, I still feel like I have some unfinished business here, and simply put, only once that business is finished will I have enough time to uproot myself and the things I need in my night-to-night life and move to somewhere else. I'm not sure where yet. What was Canada like?
It's cold. Not that that really bothers us. So, your unfinished business, the thing that's stopping you from leaving the Twin Cities, is it the Cabrilla itself, or is it more involved than that?
Oh, no. I couldn't give a damn about the Camarilla, and it doesn't give a damn about me. Such things are quite obvious.
They might give a damn about you more than you think.
Yes, I'm sure, but not in the way I would like. But the thing with the prince, frankly, Prince doesn't bother me at all. Well, his actions are obviously monstrous and heinous and what have you. But the important thing is the other members of the Camarilla. And well, that leaves us with well, after the whole business was done with, and the Malkavian giving us a nonsensical answer about the prince and these things being tests out of control. No offense, but that is the bulk of my experience with your clan.
Us being out of control?
Yes. Soon enough, we found out that Jonathan disappeared, and so did Ophelia. Even more troublesome is that Jonathan's affiliates, ghouls, everything that had to do with him was kind of just disappeared almost overnight. It seemed that way, at least. So I suppose I completely forgot to mention, well, I've completely thrown him out of my mind, honestly, was another wretch of humanity called David. He was a ghoul of mine, and he was useful for a time, but he became a liability. He was always addicted to something, drugs, alcohol, gambling, but he had his uses, and his, he had resources. But things were spiraling out of control, so I got rid of him. Yes. And, well, after that I was really. But there were others that were involved in the things to come. Nosferatu, by the name of Lenny. Another one by the name of Valentine, a child. I don't know what kind of wretched creature would embrace a child, but that is what it was.
I think you do know, but continue.
Well, and then there was the Tremere, a scared thing by the name of Warren. Very, very timid, I suppose, but there was something to him.
Now, you lost 2 members of this self-formed pack and gained these 3 new ones. What brought them to you in Kaitel?
Well, necessity, mostly. Well, they all had their reasons to be there. I'm sure, but the gist of it is that the true heart of the coterie is still just me and Katao. The others, they have this... I don't trust them. That's just it.
That's reasonable. They haven't been through the same things that you and Kaitel have been through.
There was a mortal, another interesting mortal besides David, by the name of Ellsworth. He seemed...
Yes,
I've mentioned him before.
This brother, or one you would consider a brother.
Yes. He taught me much about myself, much as you're trying to do. But but he was different from the mortals of the city, and well, he turned out to be something quite different. And well, Tao, he had different goals. He became obsessed in a way about finding Ophelia's murderer, and about these thin bloods that she took care of. I believe one of them was pregnant, but it honestly seemed so strange at the time. But thin bloods, I'm not sure what to think of them. Sometimes I think they're even less than kind.
I don't have much experience with thin bloods.
They're cursed with the same weaknesses, or most of them, that Kindred are, but they do not enjoy the same privileges as we do. As such, they are, well, they're at the bottom of the barrel, and they act like it.
I see.
And, well, we've done a series of investigations and other things. It was all quite long. I won't bore you with it, Linda. However, this led us to the Echo Project. I did not actually experience much of what happened there. I believe I was in the car most of the time. But, well, it had an interesting ending. Well, we got information. We know that the Giovanni didn't have the Thin Bloods. And, well, it gets a bit more complicated.
It does sound a bit of a mess.
That's one way to put it. I somehow still think it is. Anyway, yes, there we've gotten, two informants. And Lenny and Katao went and tried to get some information from them. They were not gentle. And, well, afterwards, we've received some disturbing information that we were being blood hunted for, to us, reasons unknown. I'm not sure. Do you know what a blood hunt is, Linda?
It's where your kind finds you and kills you.
Yes, to put it simply. But Katao has received information from a Bruja acquaintance of his about their whereabouts and that he's been keeping them safe. And, well, we went there and things got even worse. I'm not sure worse, but things got even more complicated. I don't think they can get any worse. And, well, there we found Valentine's Ghoul killing one of the female Thin Blood. And afterwards, it got even more complicated. Believe it or not. Do you know about the Pale Riders? Whatever that group is?
I don't think I do.
Well, through a very dramatic way, we've found out that they're coming to the cities, to the Twin Cities, and they are coming for the prince.
Complicated indeed. We don't have much more time. You'll be waking up soon. But what are you thinking, William? What are your next steps?
Well, I'm not quite sure. Being blood hunted, maybe I should let the Sabbat just go ahead and take Philip.
Philip being gone certainly wouldn't be a bad thing. However, the Sabbat, they tend to burn like quite a fire wherever they go, leaving nothing but ash in their wake.
Well, I can't quite imagine what we could do against them. In the end, it's just Katao and me.
Certainly. If you don't join them, though, you will become part of that ash. I don't have time for anyone in between.
Oh, there's ways to disappear in a city. Wait for all of this to blow over.
Time can be on your side in that sense, but you still have to contend with those who know about you. And thankfully, even though you don't trust them, you do have other allies.
True. I suppose we should establish a safe haven of sorts first. One no one knows about.
That's a good first step. Something that I want you to think on over the next several nights is, what are your plans overall, William? What would you do if you made this city yours?
Hey, thanks for listening. Producing this podcast takes time, energy, and real costs, from hosting fees to editing and artwork. If you enjoy what we do and want to help us keep creating, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a small pledge makes a big difference in covering expenses and letting us focus on bringing you more stories, more episodes, and better quality. You can find the link in the show notes. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Also, feel free to join our Discord, which is also listed in the show notes.